probably my worst decision in this game, so far. Made it through 50 hours of madness. Not sure if I should be proud or concerned. As per tradition, I've bankrupted myself again. 0 gold. Nice. I even leveled my bank bro to level 5. Now he can zap rubbish greens with weird stats into sparkly dust. Very advanced.
Let's go, brother.
Obviously the next logical step. Followed up by a not-so-smooth music transition covered by a loud charge sound, followed by aggressive gnome slapping. Nice. No inventory problems this time.
Not again, not a cheese, brother.
They put a mailbox and vendor inside the dungeon, like magic. Or planning. Next bit. Thank you all for subscribing and the support. I didn't chuck this at the end of the video like pros do. Nah, I'm doing it now. From 115 subs to nearly 3,000. Mental. Didn't sleep for 3 nights because of the hype. Brain fried like an overclocked GPU. Now let's get to the numbers, because 50 hours in Noma wasn't for fun, obviously. Each run took me about 55 minutes. Yeah, I know, not so fast, but as always I'm playing on a hardcore server, so I don't want to make any crazy pulls since I've only got 1 life on my warrior. I'll pop my dungeon route at the end, for anyone mad enough to turn this into their weekend getaway. 28 gold to repair the metal. No gold can repair what these runs do to your mind. On the other hand, total raw gold looted, and from vendor and grey items, was 590 gold. I must say, I didn't feel very lucky with the blue items from these runs. At first they were dropping like crazy, but later on, not so much. Honestly, most of this haul felt like I robbed a flea market, especially after my SFK runs. The majority of the blues weren't even dungeon related. At least I got the Noma 2-handed sword, which I sold for nearly 100 gold. Also, I only noticed this interesting schematic while I was posting stuff on the auction house. Apparently it's super rare and worth quite a bit. While I was fixing my gear, minding my own business, a dwarf asked for help with bag space. Helped him out. Maybe he's a king now. You never know with these dwarves. Manual Crowd Pummeler dropped 22 times. Hydra King, 11 of them. That's one for me, and 10 I absolutely didn't need. The axe from the last boss, 8 times. Helmet from the last boss, only 5 times. In the middle of a perfectly good run that had already dropped me 2 blue items halfway through, Battle.net went down like a sack of potatoes. I was lucky. If it had lagged out 30 seconds earlier, you'd probably be watching a very different video right now. Something like getting a Grand Marshal title on my warrior, because they basically hand these out for free now. I picked up and sold over 3,000 wool cloth. That's a lot of sweaters, if you ask me. I gathered 7,439 silk cloth, which sounds fancy, but it's just simple cloth in the game. I got 71 recipes, 2 of them were blue, but honestly they were about as useful as nipples on a man's body. 849 green items, which is like having a whole tree fall on you, but in pixel form. 30 random colour bags, a kaleidoscope of carrying capacity. Another bit of madness I developed during these runs was with the grime-encrusted objects. The first 12 rounds, I just vended them. But then I thought, why shouldn't I actually try turning them in? I know it gives some profit, and it shouldn't even take that much time. Oh my god, this was my bank. A shrine to grime-encrusted objects. Did I stop? No, because stopping would make sense. And I was way past that point. At that point, at least. I believed, right? I believed I had hope. Hope covered in grime. But after spending an hour opening 1,000 objects, my brain politely suggested, maybe stop now. Yeah? And since it's in charge, I listened. Otherwise it would have had me slapping myself with my own hand, and that would be quite uncomfortable. So I vended the rest like a proper adult. Now, at this very exciting moment, let's talk about the thing everyone's been waiting for. How much shiny gold I managed to scrape together. In my previous video, I asked you guys if you could predict how much gold I would make, so here are your answers. Well, I can say that some of you are super close with your predictions. Actually closer than me, because I was aiming for 2,400 gold. As you can see, I haven't finished selling everything yet at the moment of editing this video. I still have a couple of items left, including that rare, expensive recipe, but I simply couldn't stall the video any longer at this point. So my final gold count, I'd say, is 1,849, with 217 being posted on the auction house. So count it as 1,849 or 2,066. I believe both are correct answers. Now after all that, let's jump into my pathing through Noma. First, let's take a look at the gear I was using here. Each weapon came with Crusader, of course. So I pumped up my hit rating and crit rating like they were protein shakes. Since those SFK runs, I could really feel it. The more I hit, the more Crusader magic slapped some healing on me like a helpful nurse. Plus, the more I hit and crit, the more rage I generated. Also, I want to highlight this trinket you can usually grab off the auction house for pretty cheap. It adds a nice bit of extra sustain and can be used instead of a healing potion from time to time when things start to get nasty. Dunno, I like it. Probably makes me a bit of a noob for rocking it, to be honest, but again, I like it. After about 3 or 4 tries, I accidentally stumbled into what you could call a route. I start by going left. Seemed logical at the time, still does. Never bothered with that cave boss. I avoided that like a responsible adult avoids their email inbox. Too much RP nonsense. I yanked the nearby mobs and path toward that balcony thing. If it is a balcony, whatever it is, there's always a chest and that's what matters. I never used a charge at this thing. Balcony's suspicious. Looks like it's waiting for me to try something dumb. Here I go left. Then we get spit out of the tunnel into this area. There are a bunch of, let's call them bedrooms along the walls. One of these always has a chest. What I usually do here is just clear all the rooms anyway, no matter when I find the chest. After making sure all the rooms are nice and empty, I gather up everything wandering the ground floor for one big punch up, then dump the trash at a vendor and mail the treasures to my bank. Next I enter a massive slime-covered room. It's like a green swamp party with mobs everywhere, and the boss doing his rounds like he owns the place. I just hunt down the boss, shoo away the annoying mobs in my path, and leave the rest to their slimy business. After I get the boss, I look for the tunnel with mechanical chickens in it. I always take the right path in these kinds of tunnels, until I reach the last boss. I stick to the right side until I hit the launch bay. Sounds fancy, but it's basically a platform with a boss on it. From there, I go right like it's a gnome extermination mission. No gnome left behind. After the boss, I still keep going right, or left if you look from this perspective. Now this is the tunnel I need to go into next, just grabbing this pack beside it. After getting out of the tunnel, there are 2 ways you can go from here, but I go straight and enter another small tunnel on the left. From here I just keep going left, basically running in a big circle, only to end up exactly where I started, which some people call exercise. If you do the same, you'll get to the boss eventually. He can yeet even a level 60, so make sure to stand with your back against the wall. After completing the full circle and returning to that small tunnel, I'll end up back where I came from. This time, I take the other path. When I reach this huge room, I want to head toward that tunnel over there, but since there are plenty of juicy mobs around, I just do a full circle to clear them all first. Only then do I proceed into the tunnel. When I enter that big tunnel, I stick to the right side, clearing everything in my path until I reach the big door. Behind the big door there's another pack of mobs. I clear them out and get the boss. Still don't Hearthstone out. I run back the way I came, clearing the left side of the tunnel. Ignore this tunnel on the right, just keep going up. Head right into the first tunnel you see, unless you're blind, in which case, good luck. Now left. Then right into the big tunnel. I stick to the right side of it, clearing everything I previously missed on my way down here. Back to the slime area. Again turn right and into the first tunnel. The walls with rooms are back. I stick to clearing the ground respawns. No need for a full-on room sweep again, that's madness. Then I offload junk and send the good bits to my banker. Now I just need to jump back through that window, room or tunnel, whatever it is, from where I first respawned here. And then again, just get all the respawned mobs in my path. The chests don't respawn, so no need to head back to that balcony. Just stick to the right. Find the entrance to the dungeon and you're done. Repeat if you need to. And as always, thanks for watching.